Welcome back to our colonoscopy preparation podcast series. I'm your host, Bimal Morrison, and today, as we count down to 2 minus 3 days before your colonoscopy, we are focusing on critical component of your prep, the low residue diet. This diet plays a pivotal role in ensuring your colon is clean and ready for examination, and understanding how to implement it effectively is key to a smooth procedure. Before I move ahead, I want to add a disclaimer that Gutsphere is not a provider or a clinical firm. We are here to provide you with self-help tools, information, so that you can make in more informed and educated decisions. For all your Medicaid concerns, please contact your healthcare provider. In this series, we combine personal stories with expert, science-backed evidence to guide you through the preparing for a colonoscopy. Whether you are a patient or a caregiver or a healthcare provider, our goal is to provide you with comprehensive insights to approach your colonoscopy with confidence and ease. Our discussions are informed by the latest guidelines from respected health organizations and consultation with gastroenterology experts. In today's episode, we delve deep into what a low residue diet is, why it's necessary, and how you can adhere to it in the days leading up to your procedure. This isn't about cutting back on fiber, it's about making strategic choices that will ensure your colonoscopy has the best possible outcome. Along with each episode, we offer a readable user guide and actionable checklist to help you follow along the implement the advice provided. These resources are designed to make your preparation as straightforward and stress-free as possible. Be sure to check the show notes and episode descriptions for the links to these valuable tools. Today's focus shifts significantly towards what you can eat, what you should avoid. This episode goes beyond general advice, providing you with detailed guidance tailoring to navigating low residue diet effectively. Stay with us, and you'll not only understand the specific of low residue diet, but also learn practical tips and strategies for managing your diet in these critical days. Let's ensure your colonoscopy goes as smoothly as possible by preparing properly. Again, let me remind you, while Gospel provides self-help GI care tools and resources, we are not a healthcare provider or a clinical firm. Our content is designed to empower you in managing your gastrointestinal health, complementing, not replacing professional medical advice and treatment. Always consult with a healthcare professional for medical concerns. So get ready to take notes because this episode is filled with essential advice to pave the way for successful colonoscopy. Let's dive right in and explore how to best manage your diet over the next 3 days. So let's start with the basics, understanding the low residue diet. What exactly is a low residue diet and why is it necessary before a colonoscopy? Think of a low residue diet as prepping the stage for clear view during a colonoscopy. Less residue, clearer visibility. Here's the definition. A low residue diet reduces the amount of undigested material in the colon by minimizing high fiber foods. The aim is to lessen bowel residue, which helps simplify the bowel cleansing process needed before a colonoscopy. And the significance of this diet lies in its ability to provide a clear view of colon's interior. Residue can obscure the colon lining, potentially masking abnormalities such as polyps or inflamed areas. A clear colon allows for a thorough examination and ensures that your gastroenterologist can conduct an effective and efficient colonoscopy. The component of the diet. This diet includes foods that are low in fiber and easy to digest. You might eat meals consisting of white bread, white rice, well-cooked vegetables without skins, fruits without skins or seeds, and lean meats. Conversely, you should avoid whole grains, raw fruits and nuts, and anything with seeds. Duration and timing. Typically, you'll follow this diet for about 3 days leading up to your colonoscopy. This timing helps ensure that your digestive tract is as clean as possible before the procedure. Well, let me add you about nutritional and hydration considerations. While it's crucial to limit fiber, maintaining sufficient nutrition and hydration is equally important. For those on this diet longer than a few days, consulting with a doctor about specific vitamin needs is wise. If there is concern about vitamin intake, consider discussing clear liquid vitamin supplements with your healthcare provider. These supplements are easier to digest and don't contribute to residue. Additionally, staying hydrated is vital, especially as you reduce your fiber intake. Water, clear broths, and other acceptable liquids should be consumed regularly to support overall health and easing the cleansing process. So, while it might seem a bit restrictive, the benefits of adhering to a low residue diet are clear. It's all about making sure that nothing stands in the way obtaining accurate results from your colonoscopy. So, what foods are allowed? The question is, can you provide a list of foods that are permitted on a low residue diet? Before we dive into our list of allowed foods on a low residue diet, I want to stress an important point. Everyone's health needs are unique, especially when it comes to diet and nutrition. This is why it's essential to consult with your doctor or a dietitian to tailor the low residue diet to your specific health conditions. Whether you have lactose intolerance, celiac disease, or any other digestive issues, personalized guidance will ensure that the diet not only meets procedure requirements but also supports your overall health. With that important note in mind, let's explore variety of foods you can enjoy on a low residue diet. This diet is about reducing fiber to minimize bowel residue, but that doesn't mean your meals have to be bland or overly restrictive. Here is a list of food categories that are generally safe and recommended. Number one, grains. Opt for refined grains such as white bread, white rice, and plain pasta. Remember to consult your doctor if you have conditions like gluten intolerance. Two, proteins. Lean meats such as chicken, turkey, and fish should be cooked simply. Eggs are also very safe. If you have specific dietary restrictions due to concerns like gout or protein, your protein choices may need to be adjusted. Three, vegetables. Include well-cooked vegetables without skin or seeds. Suitable options include carrot and squash. Always consider any specific vegetable intolerances or issues like diverticulitis. 4. Fruits. Canned fruits, applesauce, or cooked fruits are good choices. If you are sensitive to certain fruits, ensure those are avoided and opt for those you tolerate well. 5. Dairy products. Small amount of dairy are permissible if they don't cause you discomfort. For example, some people have lactose intolerance, some people have bloating after they drink milk. So if they don't cause you discomfort, some dairy amounts are permissible. And if you are lactose intolerant, you have options for lactose free or avoidance is the best. Number six, fats and oils. Use simple fats like butter and oils in moderation to prepare foods. So to help you visualize how to implement this diet, here's a simple one-day meal plan. For breakfast, you could have scrambled eggs with white toast and a small serving of peaches, canned peaches or cooked peaches. Two, for lunch, you can have grilled chicken breast with boiled carrots and mashed potatoes, no skin. Third, for dinner, we can have baked fish with white rice and steamed squash. For snacks, you can do applesauce or applesauce. So this is just a simple meal plan idea, and we will get into more details about different types of diets. For example, non-vegetarian, vegetarian, and vegan diets will give you sample meal plans and later. So hang on to that. This meal plan is just a starting point, and you can find more detailed meal plans and recipes suited for a low residue diet in the resources linked to our show notes or discuss with your healthcare provider for a plan that's tailored to your needs. Now let's add what foods to avoid after we understand what foods to, choose. The question is, which foods and beverages should I strictly avoid to adhere to a low residue diet? As we navigate specific to the low residue diet, an essential component involves understanding what not to eat. Knowing which foods and beverages to avoid is as important as knowing what to eat. Today, we will outline the no-go items that you need to steer clear of to ensure your colonoscopy goes smoothly. So, introduction to foods to avoid. While a low residue diet helps minimize bowel residue by reducing fiber intakes, it's crucial to avoid food that can obstruct this goal. Those foods can hinder the effectiveness of your bowel prep and potentially obscure visibility during colonoscopy. So here are the detailed list of foods and beverages to avoid. Number one, whole grains. Avoid whole grains, breads, cereals, pasta, and rice. These contain levels of fiber which can remain in the colon and interfere with the cleanliness needed for a thorough examination. Two, nuts and seeds. All nuts and seeds should be avoided including those found in bread, bars, and snacks. They can stick in the colon and are difficult to flush out during the prep process. Three, raw fruits and vegetables. Steer clear of raw fruits and vegetables, especially those with skins, seeds, or high fiber content like apples, berries, and green leafy vegetables. Three, tough meats and fatty foods. Avoid tough, fibrous meats and fatty cuts as they are harder to digest. Processed meats like sausages, which often contain spice and fillers, should also be avoided. Five, dairy products. If dairy products cause a gastrointestinal upset or if you are lactose intolerant, it is best to avoid as these can exacerbate symptoms and complicate the prep process. Legumes. Beans, lentils, peas, and other legumes are high in fiber, should be avoided as they contribute to residue in the colon. 7. Popcorn. This is a specific snack that needs to be mentioned due to its high insoluble fiber content, which is particularly problematic for bowel preparation. 8. Spicy and fatty foods. Avoid spicy and high-fat foods which can irritate the digestive enzyme and exacerbate symptoms like diarrhea or constipation. 9. Steer clear of alcoholic beverages and beverages with pulp or high fiber contents like smoothies. Coffee and tea can be consumed, but without milk or cream, Carbonated drinks should also be limited as they can cause bloating and discomfort. So, adhering to these dietary restrictions is essential not only for effectiveness of your bowel prep, but also for reducing the risk of complications during your colonoscopy. By avoiding these foods and vegetable beverages, you help ensure that your colon is as clean as possible, allowing for an accurate, thorough examination. Also, let's talk about managing health conditions with diet for chronic conditions. The question is, how should I adjust the low residue diet if I have chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, or kidney issues? As we delve deeper into nuances of the low residue diet, it's important to recognize that not one size fits all, especially when it comes to chronic health conditions. Today, we are focusing on how to adjust your diet if you're managing chronic conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, or kidney issues. Let's explore how you can balance your dietary needs with the colonoscopy prep requirements. Let's begin with introduction to dietary adjustments for chronic conditions and detailed guidelines on adjustments. Number one, heart disease. So dietary focus. For those with heart disease, reducing sodium intake is crucial. Choose low sodium versions of allowed foods such as low sodium broth or lean meats without added salt. And the consideration is be mindful of fat intake as well. Opt for food that's low in saturated fats and cholesterol to keep your heart health in check during your diet adjustments. Diabetes. Dietary focus. Balancing your blood sugar level is essential. Include sources of carbohydrate that are easy to digest, such as white bread or plain cereals, and monitor your blood sugar closely. And the consideration is consult with your health provider to adjust your diabetic medication as your food intake changes, especially if your calorie intake significantly decreases. Number three, kidney issues. For dietary focus, managing protein intake is important. Choose high quality, low protein sources if you are on a protein restriction. Also, avoid high potassium and high phosphate foods. So, considerant for you is stay hydrated with clear fluids and be cautious with the type of laxatives used for bowel prep, as some may contain electrolytes like sodium or potassium. We talked about these in detail in our T-14 days episode of picking up the prep kit. So if you have certain questions or confusions, please defer back to that episode. So these adjustments include your diet not only prepares you for a successful colonoscopy, but also keeps your chronic conditions managed and stable. It's about managing smart choices and align with your health needs and procedural requirements. However, I must re-emphasize and reinforce whenever there is an emergency or confusion, always include experts advice. Always work closely with your healthcare team, your cardiologist, your endocrinologist, or your nephrologist, your hepatologist, a nutritionist can, who can provide specific advice tailored to your situation. They can help modify your low residue diet to ensure it's safe, effective, given your medical history. Here we have given you a framework and information and education to make you aware and empower you to ask the right questions. And with this empowerment, plus there are specific needs working with your healthcare provider, you can best prepare for the colonoscopy procedure. So this comes from my personal experience. I told you before I had chronic constipation and low residue diet for managing constipation or living constipation free, high fiber diet with water, fermented food, and so on are super important. But my concern was if I regularly experience chronic constipation or sometimes diarrhea, how might the low residue diet affect these conditions? So let's explore the adjustments what might be necessary, how you can manage these conditions effectively during your colonoscopy prep. So, first of all, introduction to digestive concerns. Dealing with chronic digestive problems can complicate our preparation for a colonoscopy. The low residue diet, typically low in fiber, plays a significant role in how your body handles digestion during this critical period. So for chronic constipation, effect of low residue diet. A low residue diet does reduce fiber intake, which might be seem counterintuitive for constipation. However, the limited residue can sometimes allow for a smoother passes of stool. It's important to discuss your specific situation with a doctor, as they might recommend continuing a low fiber bulking agent if you currently use one. So, and the management strategy is stay hydrated with clear liquids. Your doctor might also recommend a mild laxative or a stool softener a few days before the procedure to help manage constipation without compromising the effectiveness of low residue diet. For chronic diarrhea, the effect of low residue diet. For those with chronic diarrhea, a low residue diet can be beneficial. The diet limits food that can irritate the gut, potentially reducing bowel movements and solidifying stools. However, the management strategies, while the diet may alleviate some diarrhea symptoms, it's important to monitor your condition closely and discuss any concerns with your doctor. They might advise avoiding dairy products if lactose intolerance. Additionally, staying hydrated with clear liquids and maintaining electrolytes balance are crucial this time. Let's move on to supplements and probiotics. We have talked de- in detail about supplements and probiotics, whether to continue or not to continue in our T minus 7 and T minus 5 days episode. So here, the specific question is, should I continue taking my usual probiotics and vitamin supplements while on the low residue diet? As you delve deeper into preparing for a colonoscopy with a low residue diet, a common question arises about the use of supplements and probiotics during this period. The less address whether you should continue taking your usual supplements or put them on pause. Supplements and probiotics may play a significant role in many of our daily routines, providing essential nutrients and supporting digestive health. However, when preparing for a colonoscopy, the rules can change slightly to ensure the effectiveness of a bowel prep. So, general rule: most multiple vitamins and mineral supplements can be continued, but it's crucial to avoid these high fiber content or those that might affect digestion, such as iron supplements, which can darken stool and potentially mimic bleeding. To specific guidance, if you a general rule, most vitamins and minerals supplement can be continued, but it's crucial to avoid those with high fiber content or those that might affect digestion, such as iron supplements, which can darken stool and potentially mimic bleeding. And specific guidance, if you are on supplement that contains fiber, such as certain type of B complex or omega-3 capsules that may have a laxative effect, it's advisable to pause these a few days before a procedure. Probiotics. Effect on digestion. Probiotics are beneficial for maintaining gut health, but during a low residue diet, their impact might differ. While they don't directly contribute to residue, their use should be discussed with your healthcare provider. And the management strategy for you: consider pausing probiotics during the low residue diet phase, especially 2 or 3 days before a colonoscopy, to ensure that colon is as clear as possible. Restarting probiotic post procedure can help restore gut balance, though. So it's important to tailor these adjustments to your specific health needs. For those with specific conditions that require continuous supplementations like osteoporosis or anemia, consult your doctor for alternatives that won't interfere with your colonoscopy prep. And always have expert advice inclusion. Always discuss any supplements or probiotics with your gastroenterologist or a dietitian before making any changes. They can provide the guidance based on the latest medical guidelines and your personal health profile. And as we move on to next section, right? Obviously, we are on low residue diet, and we are concerned about our nutritional impact. The question is, will being on a low residue diet for a few days significantly impact my nutrition or health? Switching to a low residue diet for a short period, typically a few days, is unlikely to significantly impact your overall nutrition or health. The key is short-term adherence. While this diet is low in fiber and may lack some vitamins and minerals, it's generally safe for most people when followed for just a few days before medical procedures like colonoscopy. But if you have existing health conditions or diet deficiencies, you must discuss with your doctor, who may recommend specific supplements or adjustments. Now let's talk about hunger management. Obviously, it's a different low risk diet, is a different diet than we usually intake. We will get hungry, and the question is, what strategies can we practice to manage our hunger on a low risk diet? So obviously, managing hunger can be challenging on a low residue diet due to limited type of foods that you can eat. And here are a few strategies to help. Number one is eat small and frequent meals. Instead of three large meals, we can try eating smaller portions more frequently throughout the day. This can keep this can help hunger at bay and stabilize our energy levels. And number two, include permitted proteins. Lean meats, eggs, and low-fat dairy products can help you feel fuller longer and are permitted on a low residue diet. Number three, stay hydrated. You won't believe how often water can suppress the hunger. Sometimes we are just thirsty, not hungry. So staying hydrated, drinking plenty of fluids can help reduce feelings for hunger. Obviously, after water, clear bloods, or other non-caffeinated beverages that allowed on the diet. And number four, obviously, focus on allowed foods. Incorporate as much variety as diet allows. This can include different types of permitted cooked vegetables, fruits, or canned peaches or apple sauces. And now we get into more very specific food questions. Start with dairy products. Are dairy products allowed on a low residue diet, and in what quantities, if at all? Dairy products are generally allowed on a low residue diet, but in moderate quantities to avoid potential gastrointestinal upset, especially if you are lactose intolerant. Options like low-fat milk or cheese and yogurt can be included. However, if dairy tends to cause you discomfort, it's better to opt for lactose-free alternatives or avoid dairy altogether during this period. 2. Grains and cereals. Can I consume any grains or cereals, or should they be completely avoided? As we hinted earlier, you can consume certain grains and cereals on a low residue diet, but they should be low on fiber. Choose refined grains such as white rice, white bread, and plain cereals such as cornflakes rather than whole grains. Avoid any grains that contain seeds, nuts, or are high in fiber. Again, this is temporary. In the long run, eating whole grains and cereals are much more beneficial, but this is in preparation to colonoscopy, in which we are trying to have a clean colon and reduce the residue on the colon. Therefore, working a low residue diet, this is temporary. Please remember that. About what guidelines should I follow regarding fruits and vegetables? The key with fruits and vegetables on a low residue diet is to avoid raw and high fiber varieties. Stick to well-cooked vegetables without skins or seeds, and canned or cooked fruits without skins or seeds. Avoid raw salads, unpeeled fruits, and vegetables like corn or peas that are high in fiber. Remember, While these dietary adjustments are crucial for preparing your colonoscopy, they are temporary. The goal is to ensure a clear viewing during the procedure, and following these guidelines will help you achieve that. Consult with a healthcare provider for personalized advice, especially if you have ongoing health concerns or dietary needs. Let's now move on to practical concerns. Obviously, meal planning. The question is, could you suggest meal ideas or plans that comply with the raw residue diet? Adhering to a low residue diet doesn't have to be calorie challenge, even with specific dietary preferences. Today we'll explore tailored meals for non-vegetarians, vegetarians, and vegans to help everyone on track while they die preparing for a colonoscopy. For non-vegetarians, breakfast: scrambled eggs with a white toast, margarine, and a slide of canned pears. For lunch, baked chicken breast with white rice and boiled carrots. 3. For dinner, grilled fish like cod or tilapia served with mashed potatoes, no skin, and steamed spinach. Snacks, low-fat yogurt or cottage cheese. So 4 meals are too much. I generally go for 2 or 3 minutes, or more smaller meals during this preparation. If you want to, if you feel more hungry, obviously smaller meals like I said earlier. Otherwise, like 2 or 3 meals should be fine. Second, what are the vegetarian options? For breakfast, smooth cottage cheese with soft canned pieces. For lunch, white pasta with butter on a side of well-cooked zucchini. For dinner, if you eat egg, you can have omelette with a lot of vegetables such as spinach and mushroom served with white bread. For snacks, applesauce. And for vegan options, smoothie made with soy milk, allowed fruits such as bananas or canned peach. For lunch, white rice with steamed carrot and tofu stir-fried with permitted spices. Ensure that tofu is soft and well cooked. For dinner, polenta with olive oil and nutritional yeast served with stewed tomatoes. And snack, sorbet or small sorbet of refined cereal with almond milk. So these meal plans are designed to be gentle on your stomach and digestive system while keeping in line with principles of low residue diet. However, the key is to focus on foods that are low in fiber and easy to digest, which helps ensure colon is clear and possible for the colonoscopy. And obviously, add 3 additional tips. Stay hydrated. No matter your diet preferences, maintaining hydration is crucial. Drink plenty of water. Consider clear broths or teas as part of fluid intake. 2. Avoid seeds and nuts. Regardless of your dietary choices, ensure that all meals are free from seeds, nuts, and anything that can obstruct the visibility during the colonoscopy. Cooking methods: opt for boiling, steaming, or baking foods without added fats or oils, as these methods are suitable for a raw residue diet and easier on digestion. So, telling your diet before a colonoscopy doesn't mean you have to compromise on the taste or variety, even if you are following a strict dietary framework. These meal ideas should help you navigate the days leading up to procedure with great ease and comfort. As always, make sure to discuss any significant dietary changes with your healthcare provider, especially if you have specific nutritional concerns. Let's move on to another extremely practical aspect: eating out. If I need to eat out, what should I look for or avoid on the menu? So, eating out on a low residue diet requires a bit of planning. Here's what to focus and avoid. Look for plain cooked foods like grilled vegetables or fish, white pastas with light sauce, and steamed vegetables without seeds or skins. So always avoid high fiber food like salads, whole grains, dishes that have nuts, seeds, or raw fruits and vegetables. Also, steer clear to fried and spicy foods as they can irritate your digestive systems. So if if it's not too much, you can always communicate your dietary needs to restaurant staff. They can often accommodate your requirements. But again, It's pretty simple to follow the low residue diet. It's just for 3 days, and unless you have the chronic health uh, conditions, it would just be not too difficult. For example, for me, it wasn't that difficult. I just followed a low fiber diet. I mostly ate cooked vegetables, which is easy to digest, and again, drank a lot of water. And another question most people talk about is about the exercises at all. If I'm exercising, should I change my exercise regimen and all? In my case, I used to run a lot. I stopped running during this period of time because I don't want to put so much stress in it. But I kept on walking and stretching and yoga, and that's fine. Again, like uh, if you have any other concerns about exercises at all, you can always have talk with your provider. So another very practical, how about monitoring and adjustment? What symptoms or reactions should prompt me to adjust my diet or contact my healthcare provider? So while on a low residue diet, it's important to monitor how your body reacts. In the following three cases, contact your healthcare provider if you experience one of three things. One, or increased abdominal pain or cramping, persistent nausea or vomiting, signs of dehydration such as dizziness, headache, or very dark urine, and any signs of rectal bleeding or black stools. These symptoms could indicate that your diet needs to be adjusted or that there may be a complication that require medical attention. And talking about medical attention, what are let's move on to other practical aspects, medication and food interaction. The question is, how do I manage medications that need to be taken with food while on a strict low residue diet? So managing medications on low residue diet can be challenging, especially if you need to be taken with food. Here is how to handle it. One, choose compatible foods. For medication that need to be taken with food, use low residue options that still allow for absorption of medications such as white bread or crackers. Timely consumption. Two, take a medication during a larger meal time to ensure you have enough in your stomach to mitigate irritations, especially if your medication is harsh on an empty stomach. Three, consult your pharmacist or doctor. They might adjust the timing or the formulation of medication or better suit your colonoscopy diet requirements. So in the resources section, we have added low residue diet chart for various dietary needs. We have food categories, foods to eat for non-vegetarians, foods to eat for vegetarians, foods to eat for vegans, and foods to avoid in all cases, and added special notes. And we have a section called special considerations for chronic conditions, for example, diabetes, heart disease, GI issues, kidney issues. And we have also added resources for meal planning ideas for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for vegetarian, non-vegetarians, vegans, and also during meal planning, also added foods to avoid. And and obviously we have T minus 3 days low residue diet user guide and low residue diet checklist and worksheet. We have that added in the show notes and description sections. And also you can check our website www.gotsphere.com. We'll be updating those in the coming days. Concluding T minus 3 days episode, low residue diet. As we wrap up today's discussion on the low residue diet, I hope you feel more prepared and confident about what you can eat, what you should avoid in days leading up to your colonoscopy. Remember, the goal of this diet is to minimize intestinal residue, which helps ensure a clear and effective examination of the colon. It's a crucial step towards a successful procedure and your overall health. We have covered everything from basics of the low residue diet, foods you can enjoy, and those you need to steer clear of, to how to adjust your diet if you are managing specific health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or kidney disease. We have also talked about how to handle digestive issues that might arise and how to incorporate supplements and probiotics safely during this period. I encourage you to use the checklist we provided to track your adherence to the diet over the next few days. It's a simple tool but can make a big difference in ensuring you're fully prepared. If you have any doubts or experience any symptoms that concern you, don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider. They are there to support you through this preparation phase. Looking ahead, our next episode will focus on the day before your procedure, which is a critical time for final preparations. We will discuss clear liquid diet, the timing for the starting your bowel prep solution, and what you should do to get ready for the day of colonoscopy. It's going to be an important episode. Make sure you tune in. And thank you for joining me today. And remember, take these steps seriously to prepare for a successful colonoscopy. You are doing something important for your health, and I am here to guide you through each step of the way. See you in the next episode. Take care.